Autism is a developmental disability that can cause a range of social, behavioral, and communication challenges. It is very difficult for individuals with autism to find work in Malaysia, making Adli's cafe very unique. He believes that through employment, autistic individuals will be able to find some independence and live a more fulfilling life.
The public need to understand, if they include them in the society and understand them and, embrace them as they are, there's a whole lot of things that you can do. I think we should do that, it has to be inclusivity, it must be there, If it doesn't exist, then that's a simple question, how are they going to move forward?
The Autism Cafe project is located in a shopping mall in Subang Jaya, Malaysia. They serve simple but delicious food.
The cafe runs 90% by individuals with autism. Pre-COVID, we employed about 8 of them. 8 of them are permanent staff based on their shift, and we have 4 volunteers. Each individual are given certain tasks based on their ability. Some of them can't hold a knife. Some of them, can't feel the pain. They have sensory issues, That could be very dangerous to them. So we make sure that their ability suitable to their task given.
Adli believes that more needs to be done for autism awareness in Malaysia.
There's a lot more to what we can do to create awareness, because if the awareness is not there, then the situation will be very difficult. Some people don't know how to react when they meet, say, individual with autism who has meltdown or who has tantrum. They don't know how to react, simply because the knowledge was not there. So if we were to create more awareness, then the knowledge will flow, and people will understand, and people will definitely know how to react.
Adli and his wife have 6 children. When his son, Lukman, was around 2 years old, they noticed that something was different.
He began to display something that is not right, but you don't know what it is, For instance, he jumped on the same spot for hours, and when we ask him to stop, he will stop for a couple of minutes, then he back to his jumping mode. Progressing along, there's no speech coming out from him, there's vocal limitation, and tiptoeing and stuff, all this kind of abnormalities started displaying.
At 4 years old, Lukman was diagnosed as having autism.
I was really shattered, and I start blaming him. That causes all this, causes all the quest of having a perfect family went down the drain. I blame him totally. He's always on the receiving end, So I guess that's the dark part in my life. I wish to forget about it.
They believe that there are sufficient educational opportunities for autistic individuals in Malaysia. However, he believes there are only a few opportunities after they finish school.
I felt education is a plenty. It's just that if you have money, you go for private sector, one-to-one kind of thing. If you don't have, then there's a government-assisted organization in school. But once they are done with education, what's next? What's next after school? And what's going to happen to them when we are not around?
He fears that his son Lukman would not be able to live independently once he and his wife are no longer around.
I said this to my wife, we must have a strategy so we can move forward. And we can move when we left this world. If he were to stay with his sister or brothers, can you imagine the stress that the brothers and the sister will go through?
Adli quit his corporate job with Lukman in mind. He started the Autism Cafe project to try to find a solution for autistic individuals like his son.
In Malaysia, the opportunity is very bad for them. As I said, if you look at my son, he has certain disabilities. He couldn't speak. Put that in the market. He's applying for a job, a simple job, let's say administrative assistant, or a janitor for that matter. As simple as that, who's going to win? You know the answer, I know the answer. So basically, he won't. There's a zero chance for him to secure any jobs outside.
The early days of the cafe was tough, as they operated from makeshift setups at temporary locations.
Nobody knew about Autism Cafe project when we started this back in 2017. What we started was basically just a table selling breakfast sale. It was a difficult time, because I don't have any experience doing F&B staff, but my thought is always, this is not for me, this is for my son and the boys in the same situation as he is, And I'm glad that we did this. I'm glad that we did.
In early 2021, they finally found a permanent location to set up their cafe. As business started to take shape, Adli has seen how autistic individuals can function in workplaces when given tasks that fit their capabilities and interests.
What skill, what sort of job for them, depends very much on individuals. Like my son, he loves water and he's very clean person. So you need to find position or job description that actually caters for that particular ability. So the best option is to get him to wash the dishes. When he did something that he loves, he tends to excel. The same with us.
Adli hopes the work at the cafe would help autistic individuals into adulthood. He believes they can learn to live with dignity and eventually with more independence without having to depend on others.
I think when they're here, it sort of gives them a leeway of a taste of what real life will be like, Lukman has shown tremendous improvement at the cafe. What we did had inspired other parents, and parents came out to us and asking us how we can manage, how can we move forward in securing their future,
The place may be called a cafe, but the space functions as a place where autistic individuals hold events like concerts.
I want them to feel life, to live as normal as us, as you and I, go to the park, play badminton, play tennis, socialize, having friends, having good friends for that matter, We went out for a movie session, for a picnic section, for a walkabout session, for an exercise session. So we have bracelet making, we have soap making, we have cooking session. So this is what the Autism Cafe is all about, giving them a chance to live their life to the fullest.
The activities are aimed at helping autistic individuals overcome some of the challenges that they may be facing.
So I keep on going, teaching him to make bracelet, and finally, after a couple of months, from unable to hold, he's able to hold. Unable to put in beads into the strings, now he's able to do that. And the most amazing thing that he has able to design a bracelet on his own. That took a courage. That took courage.
Adli was making good progress with the cafe, but they faced one of their greatest challenges when the COVID-19 pandemic hit Malaysia. The authorities implemented restrictions on movement, and many businesses suffered. However, more worrying was the negative effect it had on the mental health of some of their autistic team members.
We were so worried about our boys. One of them actually tried to commit suicide because they couldn't handle the stress. We can handle, but they can't. For Lukman, he kind of showed his agitation. You know, he's restless. You know, so what we did is we create chores for him. So he got to actually